At the center of influencing behavior and change, now advertising, is really setting the stage for kind of a new horizon where brand meets demand. We feel very strongly that AI needs to heavily influence audience. And planning needs to start at an audience level, not a channel level, and not looking at kind of pure saturation points, an audience level. And we use different techniques across embeddings techniques and other ML techniques to make sure that we're optimizing for business outcomes. And as we think about what type of audience we may want to connect with, whether it's around increasing household penetration, right, re-engaging lapsed buyers, increasing buy rate among existing shoppers, driving the maximum incrementality for a brand, we're going to identify a different cohort of consumers to connect with. And how we can connect that audience strategy with a creative strategy and the dynamic creative optimization tools that are out there is really where we see a powerful accelerant for how retail data and retail signals is going to influence the advertising ecosystem for years to come.
So what does creative optimization mean to you, or what are the tools, and how are brands using them?
So from a creative optimization standpoint, we're thinking about not just who we want to expose content to and the different channels within that content experience, but we're thinking about how we can create that dynamic where we can adjust that creative based on different purchase cycles. Because when we can close that loop and understand a customer saw different content, they bought, they engaged, they made a purchase, then we can start to change the dynamic and look across other patterns within the basket of other content experiences they have to change that creative treatment to connect with them in other meaningful ways based off of their life stage and lifestyle over time.
So tell us how brands activate with Kroger. Is it in-store, is it online, is it both? Give us a sort of an overview.
Yeah, we have a full funnel suite of solutions where we have everything from an owned and operated, Kroger as a publisher, a commerce platform. We think about what happens from owned and operated, display ads on site, search ads on site, look at targeted offers, right? When we think about low funnel conversion, push notifications, brand shops, there's that portfolio within Kroger Precision Marketing. And then there's also the extendability of audience and measurement to close that loop with the relationships we've built with different publishers. So whether it's from a programmatic exchange standpoint, and we can curate audiences, we use different data onboarders to connect that audience into a DSP platform for brands to use their own safety controls, their own frequency caps they can buy programmatically, to direct relationships and bridges we built with Disney, with Snap, with Meta, with Pinterest, with Pandora. So there's a myriad of optionality off property, both self-service and managed service for different brands that have that need, right, for us to own hands-on keys, as well as different in-store partners. When we think about the modernization of the store environment, so it's a big shift from analog connection points in a physical brick and mortar environment and the new digitization. And really we're being mindful strategically about how do we want screen technology in our stores to connect with customers, and how do we want the device, the phone device, to be able to connect with customers and inspire throughout that trip. And so how all of these come together on property, influencing off-property investments, self-serve or managed, and then in physical brick and mortar store is really kind of intertwining strategically. How do we deliver a business outcome that a brand's looking to drive?
And we hear a lot about shoppable video, shoppable media,
Yeah.
and it's an area that's growing. There's different sort of innovation. What are the opportunities, and what are you embracing, and what are you looking for in terms of shoppable video?
Yeah, shoppable is really critical. When we think about from a CX standpoint, consumer experiences and what they're looking for, the shoppability, ease, convenience is at the forefront of change from a consumer standpoint. Technology, and how do we enable that through technology and create that experience, not just through mobile deep linking, right, to not create somebody and kind of pull them out of an environment that they're already in, but create that seamless intersection, adding items to basket, particularly in grocery. When baskets aren't, 2 or 3 items at a time, baskets are 40, 50, 60 items at a time. The shoppability spectrum across multiple days that folks want to get inspired and want to add items to basket is really critical. And so how that plays out through different ad placements and ad units, video or otherwise, is something that we're very focused on through the technology enablement, both within the publisher ecosystem as well as the enablement partners from a tech space.